All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, I know a lot of people have been waiting for this one. We got some blue-purple Sanji action lined up. Very spicy deck to go over today. Very interesting leader to go over today. So let's get right into it. First things first, we're going to check out the deck list. And then after that, we're going to head over to the sim. We got 5 games on the sim. And then we're going to finish off by going over the deck list one more time. And I'll tell you guys what I think about the leader going forward, okay? Some final thoughts on it. All right, so you know what you're getting into. Let's hop right into it. I will have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that in the comments section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comments section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. Today's video is brought to you by Nin Garden, and their summer kickoff sale is live. They're offering 10 to 40% off site-wide across the entire store. For a limited time, get a free playmat tube with every Sun God playmat purchase while supplies last. Also, don't forget to use my code, TheVVTheory, at the checkout for an extra 10% off. All right, so we're going to start off by going over the deck list here. We'll start off with the leader. We got blue-purple Sanji, which is a 5,000 power, 4-life Straw Hat Crew and Vinsmoke family leader with the effect of activate main once per turn, Dawn -1. Activate up to 1 Straw Hat Crew type event card from your hand with an original cost of 3 or less. And then when attacking, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. Okay, so the whole idea here is we want to have some events that we can use with that activate main, and as we're doing that Dawn -1 effect, we're going to be able to attack right after that to get the Dawn right back, because it just checks to see if we have equal to or less Dawn than our opponent. So in other words, just with a standard progression in One Piece TCG, right? You go 1 Dawn, then your opponent's on 2, then you're on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes up 1 at a time, right? Because after the first player who starts off with 1 Dawn, everyone gets 2 Dawn after that each turn. So the way that this ends up working out is you're going to be able to, use your Dawn -1, and let's say you're on a 5 Dawn turn and your opponent just had a 4 Dawn turn. Okay, well, when you Dawn -1, you're now down to 4 Dawn. Well, now your when attacking effect can give you the Dawn back. Okay, so very, very powerful effect there. There's a lot of synergy going on with that activate main and that when attacking. Now, let's run through the deck list and we'll talk about some synergies that this leader has with some of these really powerful events here, especially some of these events that come out with Sanji in OP12. So, we're running 4 Kaya. Be sure, guys, if you're a newer player, be sure to pause and read these if you don't already know what they do. I'm going to kind of mouse over each one as we go through the list, and I'm only going to really focus on the newer cards like from OP12. Okay, so we're running 4 2K counter Kaya, draw 2, trash 2. Running 4 of the new Searcher Pudding here. 4 of the 3 cost Sanji, which is really built for this new leader. Running 4 Reiju, 4 Sanji. 4 of the 1 cost blue event, Let's Crash This Wedding. 4 Concasser. 2 Gum Gum Jet Culverin. 4 Buff Burst. 2 Gum Gum Red Rock. 2 Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. 2 When You're at Sea You Fight Pirates. 4 Gum Gum Giants. No surprise there, I'm sure. 4 Luffy is the man who would become the Pirate King. And 2 Brochet Blow. Now, this is a list that I've been kind of working on. This isn't specifically someone's list that I just copied. It's just something I've been kind of messing with, getting ideas from the East and just seeing what people are doing on the sim. This is kind of just the direction I've built the list. There's probably a better list out there. Like, for example, one card that I do want to add in the future, I want to fit it into this deck, is the 4 cost Charlotte Pudding. I think this is just a good card to have, period. It's just simply is a good card. And we're going to go over these events more in a second, but there is so much draw power in this deck, especially between Buff Burst and Concasser and the new Luffy is the man who will be the Pirate King, the purple version that Sanji has. You're going through so many cards, and notice what this card says. Like, okay, Buff Burst, this has the ability to have, if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, draw 2 cards. And this is a 3 cost or lower Straw Hat event, so you can Dawn -1 to just draw 2 cards. Seems really, really good, right? With this event at least. And then read this event very carefully here, guys. If your leader is Sanji, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put 1 card into your hand. It does not have to reveal it. And it does not matter. It does not matter what kind of card it is. It could be Straw Hat. It could be an event. It could be whatever. And you don't even reveal what it is. But then you put the remaining 2 on the bottom of your deck in any order. Okay. So these cards here: Buff Burst. Luffy will be the Luffy is the man who will be the Pirate King, and then Concaster just main draw 1 card. You're going through cards so quickly with this deck that it's almost scary, right? So adding something like Charlotte Pudding in here as a 2 of. Just like how Gravity Blade's a 2 of. Now, there are some cards that can search over it. Oh, and by the way, Kaya as well. Draw 2, trash 2, right? There are some cards that can search over these. Like, for example, this card right here can only search up Straw Hat, Kid Pirates, or Heart Pirates cards. This can only search up Straw Hat cards, right? So there are some cards that will go over a card like Pudding or even like something like Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. But still, I think it's worth running just because of all the draw and cycle power we have in the deck. Another card that can search up any event in here, look at this. This is OP12 Pudding. It's a searcher. Look at the top 4 cards from your deck and reveal up to 1 Sanji, a card literally named Sanji like this, right? Like this Sanji or this Sanji, and or an event and add it to your hand. Notice the event is not color locked, so we can search up any of these events in the deck. The only thing that this Pudding cannot search up, other than itself, obviously, is this Kaya and this Reiju in the list we're running right here. It can search up any of the events in here and any of the Sanjis. So really good stuff here. So we might want to try to make room for a card like Pudding. Another card that I think would actually just be very, very strong in here is the purple 7-cost Sanji. I think this card could be very good in here because I'm gonna try to save this until later. I'll probably save this till the end of the video when we recap and go over the deck one more time. Okay, so good stuff. This is just a really good card, and since we're doing Dawn -1 stuff with this effect, and we can get it back with our leader, it's always going to be worth a conversation at least. It's a 1K counter. It's searchable with our Pudding and any of our Straw Hat searchable stuff, obviously, and it can tap down blockers, and then we can go for lethal if we need to, if we're like 1 attack shy of trying to win the game. So really good stuff here. Okay, now let's kind of run through the list what you're trying to do. First thing, and I need to go over some of these new OP12 cards. Let's go over all the events real quick. Actually, we're probably going to go through most of the cards in this deck, guys. I know I said we wouldn't. We're probably going to. So this Pudding, it is just a searcher, right? Top 4 searcher for Sanji or in any event card. This new Sanji from OP12, it's a 3-cost 5K that has this character gains plus 1,000 power for every 5 events in your trash. That's nice and all, but check out the second part. I mean, that part's actually really good, by the way, but check out the second part. If this character would be removed from the field by your opponent's effects, you may return 1 Dawn card to your Dawn deck instead. That's not once per turn. And you can just keep using this. Anytime your opponent tries to remove your character from an effect, okay, Dawn -1. Okay, you're going to do it again, Dawn -1. And remember what your leader does. You can just keep ramping Dawn back quicker and quicker every turn. Okay, so really powerful card here. And then check this one out as well. This Reiju is one of my favorite cards in purple from this entire set from OP12. 4 cost, 5,000 power, 1K counter, right? No, not really. It's actually a... if you have if your trash has 4 or more events in it, this character gains plus 2,000 power and 5 cost. So I can pay 4 for a 9-cost 7K blocker. Seems good. And we're filling up events in our trash very quickly. Okay, guys, you can turn this character's effect on, I think, literally by... turn. I think you can actually probably fill it up by turn 2 if you needed to going second. It's that crazy. This deck goes through events that quickly if you need to. Okay. Next up is Sanji. Sanji's a 2K counter. We know what this card does. This came out in OP11. This is a new blue Straw Hat Searcher. It just says if your leader's multicolored, so you do have to have a multicolored leader, you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 Straw Hat Crew type card other than Let's Crash This Wedding and put it into your hand, then place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So guys, I mean, it's just really solid. Right? There's no way around it. It's just a really strong card. Being able to do a top 5 search and it's filling up your trash, it's perfect for Sanji. It's even better than the one we've had for a while now from OP05. This is a very similar effect here that does a top 3 search, but you can look up Straw Hat, Kid Pirates, or Heart Pirates. The trigger activates the main on both of these, so the blue one is just strictly better for what we're trying to do. We're not running any Kid Pirate stuff or Law stuff or the Heart Pirate stuff, so I guess maybe in the future, we could try to make something like that work, but for the time being, this one-cost blue event, Let's Crash This Wedding, is just strictly better in the deck than when you're at See You Fight Pirates. So I am running 4 of these and only 2 of the purple one. Then we're running Concaster. This is a new OP12 event here. One cost, if your leader is Sanji, draw 1 card. So pay 1, draw 1. It's just a nice cycle early on to fill up your trash. And then counter, if you have 4 more event cards in your trash, up to one of your leaders gains plus 4,000 power during this battle. You can only protect leaders with that effect, just like with, you know, Gear 2 and Divine Departure. It's like the one-cost events, okay? The one-cost utility leader events. Okay, then we're running 2 Jet Culverin, Gum Gum Jet Culverin. This is a 3-cost event here with main. Return up to one of your opponent's characters with an original cost of 4 or less to the bottom of their deck. This card is excellent, just pushing your opponent back in the early game, slowing them down so that you can get into the late game where your Sanjis are massive, your Vinsmoke Raijus are on the board, and you're just in a really good spot from there. I will probably try to go up 4 of these because I think this card's really good. And there's another card I'm running at like the 3-cost, you know, Straw Hat spot here in Brochet Blow. We'll talk about this one more in a minute, but I think I might just end up going for the Jet Culverin. We'll have to see what happens. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Next up is Buff Burst. So this is like the new super powerful rare event that comes out in OP12 for Sanji. I mean, I guess it's technically for any multicolored leader, but listen to this effect in Sanji. 3-cost main. If your leader's multicolored, choose one. You can either return up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less to the owner's hand. That's not base cost, by the way, just a cost of 4 or less. And then if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, draw 2 cards. This is a 3-cost or lower Straw Hat Crew event. So we can do a Dawn -1 with our leader to just draw 2 cards if we have 6 or less cards in hand with this event. That's all you're going to see me use this card for, I think, in today's video. Drawing through cards like that, filling up your trash with events, this card is incredible, guys. This card is outstanding. It is like the main fuel that makes this leader run, at least from my experience with this version of the deck. Running 2 Gum Gum Red Rocks. We're not going to spend any time on that. 2 Grab Blades. 2 of the Searcher we looked at earlier when you're at See You Fight Pirates. 4 Gum Gum Giants. This card doesn't need any introduction right now. And then 4 of this card here. This is a new card from OP12. Luffy is the man who will be the Pirate King. We already read it, but I'm going to read it one more time. If your leader is Sanji, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put 1 card into your hand and place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Do not show your opponent. Guys, whenever you go to play this card out, don't show your opponent. You don't have to reveal the card. It's just like another card I've considered for this deck called Ulti. There was a card that came out way back in OP05 called Ulti. Same exact thing, but this card allows you to place the cards on the top or bottom of your deck, whereas the event only lets you place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Ulti here, check out what this card does. 4 cost 5k, 1k counter. On play, if your leader is multicolored, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 card to your hand. Doesn't matter what it is, and you don't reveal it, and then you place the rest in any order on the top or bottom of your deck. So it's kind of like this card here. The problem with this card, the reason we're not running this in the deck, for example, is spacing. We don't, like, what do you replace in here to put this card in the deck? If you guys can make it fit in the deck, by all means, give it a try. And then last but not least, we have 2 Brochet Blow. 3-cost main effect here. If the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, draw 1 card, and then give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 3,000 power during this turn. The card is very good at battling for the board. But I'm going to be honest, I think we'd rather just push cards off the board or literally bottom deck them with cards like Red Rock. This card is nice and all, and in fact, the best part about this card, in my personal opinion, is the fact that you get to draw a card. It replaces itself, and it's a 3-cost Straw Hat card, so we can just Dawn -1 with our leader's effect to do the 3k and draw a card. So that's, you know, it's a good card, though. I do like having access to it, just in case, who knows, maybe you go against a random deck running Eustace Kid, and now they have an 8,000 power body on the board. Well, you can start dropping its power down with a card like this. So the card's still pretty decent. Okay, well, that's the entire deck, guys. Again, what you're trying to do early on is go through a bunch of events early on, fixing your hand as much as possible with these Searcher events, these Searcher cards, even your Kayas if you have to start cycling, draw 2, trash 2, filling up your trash, and then you get to all the cards you need in your hand, and then over the course of the game, you kind of fight for the board and you go to the late game. Because look at all the stuff we have here. It looks like, you know, oh man, you're only running 8 2K counters. It's like, yes and no. We're running 8 2K counters and 8 4K counters in here, guys. So we actually have a lot of defensive power, and we're also running, you know, 4 blockers in here, technically 8 if we need to run Sanji as one. So the whole idea is just slow your opponent down, fill out your trash as quickly as you can, and turn this card here into a actual unstoppable character. They cannot remove it under any circumstance. You can always just Dawn -1, Dawn -1, Dawn -1 to save it from effects. Make it where they have to attack into it on the board, in which case if you have like 10 or 15 cards in your trash, this is like a 3-cost 7k or 3-cost 8k or maybe even a 3-cost 9k over the course of the game. Okay, so that's the entire game plan. Now, that's enough talking about it. Let's see what the deck can do. Let's see it in action. All right, first game up we have against Silver's Rayleigh. Okay, so the volume is off. The speed is on 2x. Well, now it is. Here we go. And here we go. So as far as going first or second, I think we actually want to go second, guys. We want to go second and do a bunch of one-cost events right up front, fix our hand, and go from there. Now watch this. We're going second, playing out Pudding, searching up Sanji. Okay, we got one of the pieces we need to finish out this game. We needed a Sanji. We got a Sanji. As far as search priority goes, though, everybody pay close attention. Everybody get nice and close here and listening closely, okay? As far as priority goes, that buff burst, the 3-cost draw 2 event we looked at earlier, that is priority number 1. I would rather get that card than anything else when I'm doing my searches. You know, unless there's something you need to win the game or something, or if you have so many cards in hand you just can't utilize it. That card drawing through our deck quickly is a big, big deal. Okay, so we're on turn 1 going second. We're on turn 1 going second, so we have 2 Dawn. Our turn is not over. We did a turn 1 searcher. Now watch this. Okay, we're going to set the cards we want there. Now we're going to do another 1-cost searcher to fix our hand. Now we're going to use our leader effect, Dawn -1, to draw 2 cards. We just got 4 cards changed out, filtered out of our hand on turn 1. And yeah, but now we're down to 1 Dawn. We're in trouble now, right? Maybe, maybe not. Watch what happens here. Rayleigh's going to play out the Boa Hancock to fix their hand. They're going to play out the Buggy to fix their hand. And here we go. So they're kind of matching fire with fire here, right? They're fighting fire with fire. But here we go. We're going to play out the Sanji. We're going to swing it. I guess we could have done that afterwards. I don't know. Oh, we had to do the Dawn -1, but I think we could have actually swung first because they were at 3 Dawn. We would have gained a Dawn. We're going to Jet Culverin the Buggy to the bottom because that Boa is probably going to end up sacrificing itself later in the game with the effect, so we won't have to deal with that one. So we got rid of the Buggy. We swing in. They did take the 5k, and we go up the Dawn. Okay, so we went from 3 Dawn down to 2, back to 3 with our leader attack. They're filling out their board nicely here with Luffy. They're revealing Armament Hockey and Observation Hockey. They're smashing in. We are going to aggressively counter out. We want to keep our hand size pretty low. We don't want to go too low in life too early against a deck like this. Okay, we had to take those hits. That's fine. And here we go. Now we're going to use the Searcher event. We're looking for a buff burst every single time, guys. And right here, I think I should play out the 4-cost blocker here. I'm doing a little bit of math in my head. We're going to swing for 5, ramp a Dawn because we have equal to or less Dawn than our opponent. Play out the Reiju. It's already a 4-cost 7k on turn 3. No problem. Now we're going to buff burst. Nice. That's the card we wanted in this matchup, that Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. That's the card we wanted. We're going to swing for 6 here. We're going to kind of invite them to attack into our Sanji if they want to, because we're starting to feel a little bit of heat here. And notice we do have a 2k. We have 2 2ks in hand, but the rest of our defensive events require Dawn. So we're in a little tiny bit of trouble right here. Okay, so here we go. They play out Shakuyaku, finding the Luffy. They reveal Armament Hockey and Conqueror's Hockey. And I think they have another 3-cost that they play out this turn, a Sanji or some type of, maybe his bow, I can't remember. Actually, they didn't have anything to play out, excuse me. So they smash in there. We're gonna block out, excuse me. We block out with our blocker there. Now watch this. Our opponent gets very greedy. Pause. They can swing 8 into 6. They choose to go 8 into 7. Okay, so you're trying to see how many 2k counters I have? All right, well, I've got bad news. There's a 2k, 7 into 6, another 2k. Okay, they just concede. Now, let me at least explain. This person did kind of folded a little bit early, but I'm not going to lie. This game was not going to go well for them after that exchange right there. Because watch what's going to happen. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to swing 6. Actually, excuse me, I'm going to use my leader. So let's see how much Dawn. They have 2 on their leader and then 5 on the field, right? So they have 7 Dawn. We have 7 Dawn. So the very first thing I'm going to do is do a 5k check into 3 into that Sanji. And I can guarantee you they're going to let that one go, right? They're not going to try to save the Sanji. It's going to draw them into an Observation Hockey, as you can see on the top of their deck. That's not going to save them. Then I'm going to go 6 into Luffy. They're probably going to use one of these 0-cost 2Ks. And then I'm going to go 7 into Luffy. They're probably going to use another 0-cost 2K. And then I'm going to Gravity Blade them, right? I'm going to hit them with a Gravity Blade and pass the turn where they only have a Shakuyaku left. So the 5K would take out the Sanji, like we were saying. 6K would get 2K countered out. 7K would get 2K countered out. Now they only have 2 cards left in hand, which would be well, they'd have 3 technically, right? They'd have one of these events, the Zoro and the observation hockey they draw from the Sanji getting taken out, and then we Gravity Blade both of their Luffys off the board. And now they have a Shakiyaku left on the board, and your turn. We still have 3 life. We just have to survive one more turn, which we should be able to do. And then guess what's going to happen? We're going to be sitting on 3 4K events, and it's going to become very tough for them to get back in this game. Good game to my opponent there. They left a little bit early, but the writing was on the wall after after I stopped every one of those attacks. They got very greedy, swinging 7 into 6 and then 8 into 7. The way they should have done it was 7 into 7, or excuse me, was 7 into 6 and then 8 into 6, because I would have countered out of the first one. Okay, good game to my opponent. Make sure you sequence. Make sure you use proper sequencing, guys, when you're doing these games. Okay, so that was the first one. Good game to my opponent. Next up, we have the game versus Blue Kuzan. Let's hit play. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and here we go. Kuzan here is I can't wait to mess around with this leader here. I do have it planned very soon, guys. It's just a matter of time. I'm working my way through all the OP12 leaders one at a time. Okay, so first of all, that was a terrible hand. Okay, let's go back and see, because I think I even mulliganed, didn't I? Let me go back even further. Okay, yeah, so this was our starting hand, and it looks like we were going first. Look at this starting hand that I would have had that I sent back. This was actually pretty good. Even going first, we could have gone, all right, turn 1, you know, play out Kaya, right, to do a draw 2, trash 2, just to cycle our hand out a little bit and maybe throw that Jet Culverin into our trash, because I don't think Jet Culverin is really that great, or, yeah, I think that's called, I think the 3-cost card there is Gum Gum Jet Culverin. We can just trash that. That's not the best effect in this deck, you know, versus Kuzan. We don't really need that card. So we can trash that, and then whatever else we might need to trash after looking at the options we get, and then we can still do a Dawn -1 with our leader effect on turn 1, playing out a Kaya, and then Dawn -1 using the 1-cost Searcher to look for something like a Buff Burst to help us get into the mid-game. But we end up sending this hand back, and watch the hand we get, guys. I think this is one of the worst hands I've ever seen for Sanji. Remember how many events we run in this deck, guys? Look at that. Not one event. And we're going first. We don't get to draw a card first. Luckily, we did get a Kaya. We draw into 2 events, but we don't even want those events. Another card. Red Rock is very good into Blue Kuzan, but Gravity Blade and the Jet Culverin, they're not quite as good. Okay, so now we finally got some searching going on. We're searching for everything. I am desperately searching for Buff Burst here. Where's the card? There it is. We've got it, and now we're off to the races. We're going to swing in for 5. They give us a 1K. We're back up to 3 Dawn, like we never had to use a Dawn -1 effect. They're on 4 Dawn. We're on 3 Dawn. Everything is good. Okay, they're going to play out Sengoku. Incredible Searcher here for Blue Navy. And now they're going to swing for 5. We are going to go ahead and take this, unfortunately. I don't want to give them the 4-cost Raise You. That card's going to be very important for me. Okay? All right, here we go. We have 5 Dawn to work with here. I think we're going to play out a Concaster first, just to draw a card and get a Dawn so we can do Dawn -1 more effectively here without wasting an active Dawn. We play out Buff Burst with that Dawn -1. We swing in for 5 to get the Dawn back. We do that first before playing out our 4-cost, and here we go. Now our hand is fixed. We have, you know, our hand's a little bit big right now. It's kind of dangerous having our hand size this large, because they might hit us with a pudding if we're not too careful. Okay, they're going to swing in for 5. We're just going to block, of course. Now, our Raise You cannot attack this turn because of the Kuzan's effect. Okay, we're going to play out Pudding. We search up another Buff Burst. We're going to Dawn -1, play out the Buff Burst. After going down to 6 cards, playing out the Sanji. We draw more cards. We're going to play out another Sanji. We're going to ramp our Dawn back up to 7. And here we go. Let's see what they choose to do. They give us a 2K counter. Okay, here's our second Sanji. So now, guys, these Sanjis cannot be dealt with very easily. They're going to swing for 8. We're going to block in 2K here. And I'm basically daring them, like, hey, do you want to load up and swing everything into my Reiju? Be my guest. So they're going to play out Garp. They're going to do some crazy draw card effects here. Trashing a card with Garp to play out the Sakazuki. That ends up being like a draw 3, trash 1, playing out that 7-cost 8K with it. They're going to swing 6 into 5. We do end up taking that. And here we go. So I think, so there was a bit of a sequencing issue there. I think we could have actually just taken the 8K Kuzan hit from the 6-cost attacker, gone down to 2 life, and then when they attack in with the Kuzan, we could have gotten a free block off with our Reiju. So that was a mistake there for sure. The reason I did it in that order was I wasn't sure if they were going to try to swing for something bigger with the Kuzan, and that's why, like, maybe that's why they're swinging for 8K first with the bigger character there. Okay, here we go. So we have a lot of cards in hand, though, now, guys. We have a lot of cards. It looks like we can use this. We're going to use Concaster first to draw a card and get a Dawn rested, so we can Dawn -1, use Brochet Blow to go -3,000 to that Kuzan and swing 7 into 5. They let it go on the first attack. That was very intelligent of my opponent. That was very, very smart, because I was just going to go 7, 7, 7 into it, right? Okay, we're going to swing for 7 at face here. Let's see if they get any triggers. No triggers. Very nice. And now let's see what we choose to do here. I think we're going to develop another blocker. We're going to swing for 7, ramping our Dawn back. They're going to counter out. We're going to play out another blocker over the Kaya. And guys, I'm really considering swinging with Reiju, because if he wants to swing into my board, that's fine with me. I've got 7k bodies on the board. That would pretty much be a waste, right? Because I could 2k counter out of those attacks. Okay, he hits me with a pudding. Let's watch the before and after picture here, guys, of this pudding. Pause. So I only had a single Gum Gum Giant, but I was leaving 2 Dawn active in case I got into another one or a Concaster or something like that, right? Watch what he does here. He hits me with the pudding, gives me double Gum Gum Giant. You love to see it. And he gave me a 2k counter, which is even crazier. So we're going to use the first Gum Gum Giant here, returning Dawn, trashing the Sanji. We already have 2 Sanjis on the board. We don't need more of those. They're going to smash in. We get a Concaster. We're going to use that. And we're doing pretty good right now, right, guys? We're actually looking pretty good right now. They're going to use the Sakazuki's effect to attach a Rested Dawn to the leader. They're going to swing for 5. We're going to 2k. I have to be very careful here. I do have a buff burst in my hand to draw cards, so we're doing pretty well, but we don't want to go too low on our life here. Okay, we don't want to go too low on our life. They're going to swing for 5 more. I think we should just give him the free block. Actually, yeah, take this one and then block out with this. Seems good, and here we go. Now, I have a pretty large board here, guys. I'm going to go 2 into 2. He's going to let that go. I've got a pretty massive board here. He has to be careful, right? He has to be very, very careful here. I'm going to go ahead and play out the buff burst for 3 just to see what I get. I'm going to play out another buff burst for the effect. And now, let's see what happens. I think I'm just going to smash in for 5 into that 3. And then I'm going to go a bunch of 7s into face here. See, now in this matchup right here, the Brochet Blow would be incredible, but I only run 2 of them. But so would Red Rock, right? Like, that Gravity Blade I have is not very good in this situation. That Grab Blade is not so good. But we're going to smash in for 7, smash in for 7. I'm going to leave 1 character as active, and then I'm going to actually, yeah, I think I'm just going to... I think I should attack in. I think I should attack in with that Reiju, guys. I know it's probably not the way to do it. Now, they do accidentally pass back there. They pass the turn back. Let's at least imagine what they were going to do here. We have a Concaster. We have a Gum Gum Giant. We have a 2k counter. Our next card will be a 1k counter, so we will at least get that. We have a life, and we had 2 blockers. There's no way I lose on this turn. But on the next turn, the question is, can they survive, right? The question is, can they actually survive? And I don't know that they can. Now, it is true that I cannot protect my Sanjis with, or my Reijus for that matter, with Concaster. That can only save from leader attacks. Or it can only save against, attacks. It can only protect your leader. Let me say it like that. But that Gum Gum Giant, and these are 7Ks, guys. These are big characters, and I can just sacrifice the Reijus if needed. But I think what their turn was going to be here was it was probably going to be 8k check to face, 8k check to face. I get out of both of those, by the way. I end up blocking the first one with a 2k, and then I use Gum Gum Jet Giant, or Gum Gum Jet Giant. I use Gum Gum Giant on the next one. I get out of that, and then they drop down another Garp, locking down one of my attacks with the Kuzan. So it is unfortunate, and then they have 2 Dawn left for the double ice blocks. They have 2 left for the double ice block. So this game was not even over. I think this game was probably going to go on maybe 2 more turns, potentially. It all depends, of course, on what I try to do next turn. Because if I did try to go all in and they didn't deal with my board, so they knock out one of my attacks with the Kuzan, right? Let's just say one of my attacks is gone because they use Kuzan to lock it down. They have 3 2Ks and 2 4Ks in hand. But I have a lot of 7Ks, and I do have all those blockers we were talking about. I could just extend the game out 1 more turn. And if they if I attack in and they get that Gum Gum, or that Gravity Blade Raging Tiger, that card is completely worthless against this deck, right? Because I could just return Dawn if they try to get rid of my Sanjis. So really good stuff there. Good game to my opponent. They left a little bit early because I think they double-clicked in turn. Okay, for those who don't know how the sim works, the draw card effect, sometimes people will double-click it at the beginning of their turn and just immediately in their turn because they're like right in the same spot. It's always smart to put on the option to turn that off where it asks you, are you sure you want to end your turn? Okay, but either way, good game to my opponent. That one ended kind of abruptly like the Rayleigh one, but don't worry. The other games are, They're not all like that today. Don't worry. Okay, so that was we went against we saw the Rayleigh game, the blue Kuzan game. Next up, we got a game versus black yellow Koala. Okay, volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. All right, black yellow Koala, guys. Black yellow Koala. We just did a video on this one, didn't we? We just did a video on Koala. All right, so here we go. They're going to go first. Really quick start here. They're playing out Koala to fix their hand. We're going to play out Kaya to fix our hand, and then a Searcher event to fix our hand, and then a Buff Burst to fix our hand. Seems good. That start is so nice, guys. Just being able to fill up your trash that quickly and get all those cards going for you. It is really, really nice. That's one of my favorite things about this deck. So we're going to Buff Burst here to fix our hand again. I think we've used, what, 2 Buff Bursts now by turn 2. Our trash is very much full. We already have 5 events in our trash on our... That was at the end of our turn 2, guys. That was at the end of our turn 2. Okay, so here we go. They're going to swing in for 5. We counter out of the first one. Looks like we might counter out of this one, but we choose not to. Okay, that's fine. And here we go. So now we're on turn 3. We're going to go 6 and a 4. I need to use an event first or a 1-cost card like this Charlotte Brulee. Or Charlotte Pudding, rather. Hang on, pause. So we used the 1-cost Searcher event there to fix our hand. They have no idea what we just drew, right? They don't know what we just got into our hand here. Now I'm going to swing 6 and a 4. The reason I did that is because I want him to use Hack here to block and try to get rid of my Sanji, so that way I can just Dawn -1 to save it, right? Because you can save it from effects by just returning a Dawn card. So that's why I wanted to use a Dawn first, you know, get a Dawn rested, so I could use his effect, you know, effectively, right? Okay. So we swing for 6 and a 4. He doesn't take the bait, though, if I remember this correctly. He had to hit play. Yep. He just lets the card go. Now I'm going to swing for 5, ramping a Dawn with our leader effect because we had equal to or less Dawn than our opponent. And here we go. Now we're going to play out the Reiju. Had a little bit of a misplay there we have to talk about. I don't believe I used my leader effect that turn when I think I absolutely should have. I think I should have done a Dawn -1, play out the Jet Culverin, and bottom deck the Hack. Because it can bottom deck a character with a cost of 4 or less original cost or base cost. So even though that Hack is an 8-cost character, this card goes off the base cost. So we can bottom deck the Hack. We don't have to deal with the on-KO effect or him attacking in with it next turn, just in case he does that, which might come up. So that was a bit of a misplay there. That's okay. Okay, so here we go. They're going to play out Nico Robin. I have to trash 2 cards now. That is unfortunate. We're going to get rid of Brochet Blow and Concasser, and we're going to, you know, keep everything else. So they're going to swing in for 5. I'm going to block out, and then I should have 1K countered out of that just in case he swung with the Hack, but that card shouldn't even be on the board. That was just a strict play mistake last turn, not getting rid of it. Okay, so let's see what happens here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to Red Rock the Nico Robin off the board, and then we're just going to Jet Culverin the Hack off the board. Okay, I'm making sure to do a little bit of math here. Let's see what happens. Yep, I think, let's see here. I need to just use Red Rock. Okay, it looks like I'm not going to use Red Rock this turn, and that's definitely the right play. So, guys, real quick, what I should have done here without any... I mean, at least looking back, you know, hindsight's 20/20, right? What I should have done here is actually just Red Rock the Nico Robin off the board, like it's gone, right? And then I can Dawn -1 with leader effects to bottom deck the Hack and go from there. So now we're going to swing 7, or swing 5, swing 7, swing 7, and I'm going to leave 2 Dawn active for my Gum Gum Giants. They block. Okay, well, now I'm going to go 9 into 7. That card's gone. Seems good. Now, I think he follows up with a Dragon here. Very nice play by my opponent. Very, very strong follow-up here. And let me tell you guys right now, the correct play here would have been to grab the Nico Robin from the trash. They choose to go with Kuma. That Nico Robin, like, gaining a life is good and all, and I do have a very intimidating board, to be fair, and we could just block out for free there. So, like, I understand getting the life gain, but that Nico Robin hitting my hand size and giving them a blocker, that's a little scary. Now we're just going to bottom deck the Kuma here, and we're going to start smashing through. This is going to drop them very low. My opponent is in a lot of trouble. My opponent is in a lot of trouble here, guys. Here we go. Swing 7, swing 7. I think we're going to leave 1 blocker open, maybe. Nope. Just kidding. We're not doing that. Swing in for 7. Your turn. Okay, they do get to search up a card there and fill up their hand a little, or fill up their trash and fix their hand a little bit. But guys, my board is massive. The board is massive right now. Look at the counter power I have in hand. I have 2 Gum Gum Giants. I have 2 2Ks and 2 1Ks and a life. This is not going to go well for them. We're going to 1K counter out of the 5K. Now they're going to swing for 8, not even 9, not even attaching 1 Dawn. So that means they're probably going to follow up with a Hack for a blocker afterwards. We use a Gum Gum Giant. Okay, they get Rebecca. I think they grab a card from their trash. They grab a 2K counter, and here we go. Well, I mean, honestly, guys, we're just going to do a search real quick. We got another Gum Gum Giant in our hand here. And I've got Buff Burst in hand. This is just rough for my opponent, right? This is just super rough for them. Let's see what happens here. I'm doing a little bit of math here. I'm doing a little bit of math. Remember, guys, I do have this in 2x speed. I'm just taking forever. Okay, so we bottom deck the card there. What did they just have on the board? What was it? Was it the... I got to go back real quick. Sorry, guys. Oh, they played out a Kuma. Looks like they played out a Kuma for the turn last turn, and we bottom decked that. They did get to gain a life with it. But yeah, Gum Gum Giant, pretty strong, guys. Gum Gum Giant's pretty strong. Excuse me, Gum Gum Red Rock. Yeah, Giant is too. Giant is as well, but Red Rock, very, very strong. Okay, now we're going to pass. Again, we just keep beating their hand up and getting resources from them. And we're still sitting on these Gum Gum Giants. We have all this 2K counter power in hand, plenty of cards to trash. They play out another Dragon. I've bottom decked 2 Kumas, I think, now, right? And now here's the third one. Okay, they gain another life. They're hanging in there. They're sticking around, right? They're sticking around. We're going to block this in 1K, and then we're just going to use Gum Gum Giant to get out of wherever this attack goes. Yep, filling up our trash a little bit. We're up to, we get up to 9K there, and now our board is just disgusting, right? I've decided, you know what? You're not getting out of you're not getting out of 4 9K attacks. That's what I've decided here. There's no way you're getting out of 4 9Ks. Okay, so they get out of the first one, and then they do the math. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're right. I'm not getting out of 4 9Ks." Right? Let's see if they could have though. So this is a 9K here. They take it. So 2, 4, 5. Actually, it looks like they could have, but the bad news is this: they should have taken the first one maybe, and then gone from there, because my final attack would have been. So let me see. It would have been 9, 9. And then 9, and then 10. So it had been just enough to get out of their final after they take that final life there. Either way, good game to my opponent. That was a fun one. Blue-purple Sanji. It's doing things, guys. It's doing things. And I don't even know if we have the best build for it yet. We'll look at another build in just a minute, by the way. All right, next game up we have against Blue-Yellow Ace. I could not get a game against Purple-Yellow Rosinante. Okay? The final game, I'll give you guys a quick sneak peek, is going to be against Green Zoro. Pause. Hang on. I'm talking too much. I was not able to get a game against Purple Yellow Rosinante. There's just not a lot of them on the sim right now, and that's okay, right? That's fine. But instead, we got this really spicy game against Blue Yellow Ace, okay? Let me restart real quick. Volume is off. Let me make sure the speed's on 2x. We're good, and here we go. Blue Yellow Ace. You love to see it, right? You love to see it. So we're going to go first here. Again, I think going second is preferable, but that's okay. We're going to search some things up here. I want more searcher power. I'm going to Dawn -1, Buff Burst, filling up our hand. That synergy is so good here, guys. Now watch this. We swing for 5 on the second turn there. We're back up to 3 Dawn. We're back up to 3 Dawn, guys. We're going to do more searching here, fixing our hand, and then we might... Okay, we're going to Dawn -1 and do even more searching. He does not know that I just got a Red Rock in my hand, but I was looking for another Buff Burst. Okay, so he's going to swing. Oh, watch this, guys. He whiffs his first search. Now, obviously, I don't know, what deck this guy's playing here, but hear me out. Pause. I think he still should have used a Sanji. I still think he should have swung for 5 and then swung for 7, because then I have to counter out of the 5, and then I have to take the 7, instead of him swinging for 9, and I just take the 9, right? So at the end, he still would have been able to draw a card with the Sanji. So I do think he should have still used the Sanji's effect, even if he does with the leader of search. That's just me personally. Okay. So we're on a 4 Dawn turn now, on turn 3, because remember, we did do a Dawn -1 both turns now. Both of the 2 turns before, and now we're probably going to do it this turn as well. Hey, why not just do it every turn, right? Why not just do it every turn? Okay, so we do some searching here. Again, I'm just desperately searching for Buff Burst here to keep fixing my hand. It's almost like a safety net at this point, having that card in your hand, guys. And there's other cards I'm searching up as well, like the 7-cost Gravity Blade we just got. They're going to smash in for 7. We're probably going to just take this one and then block 2K out of this one. Okay? Seems good. Okay, and now we have, they have 6 Dawn, we have 6 Dawn, so we can use Brochet Blow. Nice. Okay, that was a hard call. I really wanted to get the second Gravity Blade there because it's a very good card against Ace. But we had to practice some restraint there. Then we Dawn -1. We use Brochet Blow to get rid of that, to put Sanji as a 0K. We swing 2 into it. He lets it go. We swing 5. We swing 7. Their turn. They have a lot of cards in hand, but that doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter if we're not... in danger. We have full board control, so they're going to need to use those cards as resources to get back in this game. They're going to go 9 into 7. I'm at 5 Dawn, so I really don't want to use this Gum Gum Giant here, so I don't. And it's like, I really that took a lot of restraint there. Let me just say it like that. But I need to go up in hand size, or up in Dawn, rather. I need to get my Dawn up. Okay, so I think we're going to swing for 5 here. Yep, ramping a Dawn. Then we're going to swing for 6. And then we're just going to red rock this card off the board, and we're going to sit on 1 Dawn for a Gum Gum Giant. Now, I don't mind as much using Gum Gum Giant. As long as I untap with 7 or 8 Dawn for the turn, I should be okay. So I can use red rocks and Gravity Blade Raging Tigers. Okay, they're going to go 7 into 6. I absolutely cannot let him have this, so I am going to go ahead and pull the trigger here on a Gum Gum Giant. Save the card, fix my hand a little bit. I got a 2K in hand now. That feels a lot. I feel a lot safer now. Okay, they play out the Kuma. They did a lot of life-gaining shenanigans there, guys. They're on 5 life, but look at their hand size now. Their hand size disappeared, guys. Their hand size has disappeared. Okay, and that's probably not a bad thing to do to play around pudding. I do agree with them using all the resources like that, but man, the tables have really turned, right? We had the lower hand size, now we have the bigger hand size, okay? They had this huge hand size, now their hand size is small. Now their board is getting pretty nice. I could not use Gravity Blade Raging Tiger last turn because that Kuma was an 8-cost character at the time, okay? They're going to swing for 9. We're going to 2K, 1K. They're going to swing for 9 more. I think we're just going to Gravity Blade, we're going to Gum Gum Giant here. All the G's, right? You have Gum Gum, Red Rock, Gravity Blade, Gum Gum Giant. Oh, man. All right, we do get out of that very easily. Seems good, and here we go. So I've got this is going to be a perfect turn for our Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. A really good turn for that. I'm trying to do a little bit of math here to see, like, okay, can I do this and something else, like maybe use Buff Burst? The answer is yes, I can. Will I do that? We'll have to see. So we swing in. We're up to 10 Dawn. We're gonna swing for 7 with Sanji. We're gonna swing for 7 with Rage. I'm just beating them down right now. I'm gonna Dawn -1. We're gonna use Jet Culverin and just bottom deck their card. They have no threats on the board now, and I have 2 Gum Gum Giants in hand. They're gonna play out an Aramaki. Okay. That does bottom deck a 1 cost 2 or lower character to the bottom of its owner's deck, and it gives the card plus 3,000. That's a very spicy, very interesting tech card for Blue Yellow Ace. I'll have to remember that in the future next time I mess around with that, because there's a lot of 2-cost cards in that deck. All right, we're going to swing in for 7. Okay, they only have 2 cards left. We're going to swing in for 7. They have a blocker, though, so I can't really... I guess I probably could have tried to go for lethal here. Let me see. Yeah, I could have gone 7-9, right? Hang on, pause. So I have 7 Dawn left. I could have put 7 Dawn on my Charlotte Pudding, and then I could have put 2 Dawn. Actually, after using the Buff Burst, I think that buffed my Sanji. Let me see something. Let me go back here. No, actually, it didn't even matter. So yeah, my Sanji's an 8. So right here, what I could have done with 7 Dawn is put 5 on Pudding. Well, actually... Nah, just in case. It's like, I know how many 2K counters that they run in Ace, because, hey, I do play a fair amount of Ace. And if we had swung for 7 right here with the Pudding, and then we still have 2 Dawn left to swing for 10, I guess we could have gone 9-9. They could have technically gotten out of it, and that puts me at jeopardy of losing the game. So I do play this the much safer way here, leaving Dawn active for Gum Gum Giant. We're going to use Buff Burst here. Okay, we end up getting a Red Rock. I end up going 10 into 8 here, and look at that. He had a 2K, 1K. That was just a silly play by me. I guess we did have the follow-up with Reiju, and we're sitting on Gum Gum Giant. But it's like, why not just Red Rock the Aramaki off the board and then go about things from there? I think he top decks another Aramaki, and let me tell you what. That's not the card you want to top deck in this situation here. Okay. So we're going to block. We're going to 1K. He can't attack him with the other Aramaki. It'd be too dangerous. He'd only have 1 blocker left. We're going to swing for 5. We're going to swing for 7. We're going to swing for 7. And we're going to swing for 8. GG. We're going to return a Dawn. Yeah, he tried to remove... he tried to bottom deck my my Sanji with the Red Rock. Can't do it. So that was just a math win at the end there. They had no cards left in hand. They only had so many life and blockers left. But good game to my opponent. That was a fun one. All right. Now for the final game here. The last game that I got for you guys today. Pause. Volume's off. Speed is on 2x. And in this game here, I changed the list up on you guys a little bit. Because I played against a few Zoros. And it felt terrible. Yeah, I know. Go figure. No, but seriously, it felt pretty rough. So I had to make some revisions. We had to make some revisions we're going to talk about after this game. But take a look at the deck list, or, you know, take a look at my hand when we get these this starting hand here and see how this game goes. Slightly different direction for Sanji, Might be something there. Might be something for us to explore in the future. And it's definitely, I feel like it's definitely a better build into Green Zoro. All right, here we go. So the volume's off, speed's on 2x. Here we go. Okay, we got pudding in here. Oh, is that a Gear 2? Oh, wait, is that a 9-cost Luffy and a 5-cost Sangoro? Why, yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we're going to use the effects here like normal, just ramping as much as we can, drawing cards, fixing our hand, and here we go. And we did go second, so watch this. We're still going to be able to ramp with Gear 2 next turn. They swing for 7. We're getting out of it. We're on 3 Dawn. We're going to swing in first. Make sure you do proper sequencing so you don't override your leader effect. We're up to 5 Dawn now, okay, after using our leader effect early on, and we're not going to use the leader effect again to play out the... let's crash this wedding. I don't think it'd be worth it here. I'd rather just get straight to 7 Dawn. Because there's another card we're playing in here as well. There's another card we're playing in here as well. They're going to swing for 7. Okay, we get another Sangoro. That is unfortunate. The card that I was hoping we would get is a 7-cost card that can play out that Sangoro. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. This card called Luffy Taro, right? We're running that in here and everything. We hit him with a pudding. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play out this effect here. We're going to play out this Searcher. We get a buff burst. Okay, now we're talking. All right, we fixed our hand a little bit. We're in good shape here. And next turn, we're going to be on 9 Dawn, right? Next turn, we used our leader as an actual ramp this game with Gear 2 because we're a blue-purple leader that can use Gear 2. Okay, they smash in here. We're going to take that one, sure. They play out a Hiyori. Seems good. And, okay, we draw for the turn. Now, right here, we're going to go 5 into 1. Does he want to give me 2K, 2K, 1K? Because he's going to really regret it if he does that. Let me tell you right now, guys, he would really regret that. So we're going to play out the 9-cost Rush Luffy here, and we are going to smash in for 10. I really considered getting rid of that Hiyori. I'm not going to lie. I really considered smashing into Hiyori, but I think that would have been a waste. Like, no, he needs to use all of his Dawn next turn. He can't really afford to just play out that Hiyori. 10 into 10, not happening. Then he goes 10 into face. We have to take that, unfortunately. Okay, we're on a 10 Dawn turn. Now we can start using Dawn minus tricks and stuff like that to our advantage. We're going to play out the Reiju. We still have over 4 events in our trash, right? 4 or more events in our trash. So that's still a 4-cost, 9-cost 7K, right? We'll take it, and it has blocker. So right here, I need to use a Dawn -1, but notice I have so many cards in my hand, I can't really use Buff Burst here. Oh, wow. Okay, so he's going to turn that Mihawk sideways. I did want that. And I think right here, we're just going to go 12 into 8 because this is going to take 3 cards from hand minimum. 2, 2, 1. Sure, down to 3 cards now. We're going to probably just Dawn -1 to search up. There was a Luffy Taro, but I grab a 2K counter instead here. We have 2 Dawn is active. I needed a 2K just in case he had like the Dead Man's Game or Hody Jones. I didn't want to lose the game on the spot there. I wanted to at least have some chance. It probably wouldn't have been a very good chance, but we'd have had at least some potential there. So they're going to go 10 into 7. We're actually going to use Gum Gum Giant here, Dawn -2. We're going to trash a Buff Burst, okay? In this version of the deck, Buff Burst is not the main card. It's not the best card in the deck here. They're going to use, they actually blunder there. Hang on one second, guys. Let's go back. They tried to use out the 3-cost event here. They should have only swung for 9 into the Reiju with their leader, but instead, watch this. Now they don't have enough to use the 2-sword style Lai Rashomon or I Rashomon, however you say that. You have to rest 2 of your Dawn cards to KO 2 resting characters with a cost of 4, with an original cost of 4 or less. So that would have actually KO'd my Reiju. It would have actually KO'd the Reiju if he could have tapped 2 Dawn with it. So that was a blunder on my opponent's part there. He did not leave all the Dawn up that he needed. Okay, but hey, we'll take whatever breaks we can get here. Seems good for us. They're going to stand up their Zoro. They're going to swing in for 10 into face. I think I am going to get out of this, guys, because I don't want to go too low in life. Okay, we're going to use Gear 2. We're going to 2K, and then we're going to 1K. Now I wish I hadn't got rid of the Buff Burst, right? It's like, wait a minute. Now we're down to 6 cards in hand. Buff Burst would have been really nice in this situation. They swing in for 9. Okay, so we have to take that. And how are we going to deal with this board now? We have no life. Okay, well, we're going to swing for 5. And we're just going to go for lethal, I think, guys. What do you guys think about that? We'll just go, well, hey, let's just surprise go for lethal here. So we swing for 5, and that went through. Well, if we swing for 7 here, we can go 8, 8, 10. We can go 8, 8, 10 because we have the 6-cost Luffy in our hand. Okay, play it out. Yep, swinging for 8, return to active Dawn. Takes it. No way he's getting out of this, right? He might have been able to get out of that 8K, but not the 10K that was following up with that many cards in hand and with no Dawn active. Guys, what a game. That was a very, very close game there, and I'm going to show you guys this list in just a second, but I think there could be something to this, running a more Straw Hat-centric version for Sanji, because we can just ramp to all the stuff that other purple Straw Hat leaders can ramp to, but then we have access to this incredible card like Buff Burst, I should say incredible cards like Buff Burst and Concaster. Right, those go so well with blue-purple Sanji's kit. There might be something to it, like I said. All right, good game to my opponents. Those were really fun. Let's go ahead and check out these deck lists and finish out this video. So just to recap this list one more time, this is like what I think a lot of people are starting to build for blue-purple Sanji. It makes sense. It is very strong, I will say. But overall, the major revisions I would like to make is I would like to go up to maybe +1 or +2 of the puddings, the 4-cost pudding. But it's kind of hard to find room in here. Maybe we can drop some of these events. Speaking of which, let's count how many events we have. So I think it'd be easier for me to count the amount of characters I have and then just do that, do 50 minus that number. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Okay, yeah, that was way easier than counting up all these weird numbers. So we're running 30 events in the deck. Maybe we can go down to like 25 or so and go up some characters or something like that. Because the cards that I thought would be really good for some games that came up when I was doing testing was the 4-cost pudding. It would be nice to have like 1 or 2 of these. And then the 7-cost purple, where is he? Sanji. This would have been another decent addition to the list. I know it's not really how this deck functions. I know it's not like the best card for what we're trying to do in this list, but it is a very searchable card, a very convenient card with a 1K counter, and on top of that, it can also help you go for lethal. Now, another card to just always consider at all times now, it's just a good 1 or 2 of in any purple multicolored leader deck, is this card right here, guys. Well, first of all, this card, this is not what I was even thinking of. That could be interesting. This card could be very interesting in the deck, especially in the next version we're about to look at, but this is not what I was thinking. I was thinking of the Secret Luffy. Let me see if I can find it. This one. This card, guys, if your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on the field, this character gains Rush. That's already good, a 6-cost 7K Rush card in any kind of, purple multicolored leader. But then that when attacking, it can help you win games so often, so frequently that can help you just win games. So this is definitely going to be a consideration for me in any list that I'm running in the future. Okay, so that's it for this list. Everything else felt pretty good. If you guys are building it slightly different, please tell me in the comment section below. Now, we got one more deck to look at for blue-purple Sanji. We had a surprise extra deck here. Notice it's called blue-purple Sanji, the anti-Zoro version. Check this out, guys. A little bit spicy, right? A little crazy here, a little interesting. We're still running all the incredible events that, all the main incredible events we want to run with Sanji, and we're even going up gear 2s. So we're running the 4 blue searchers, we're running the 4 Concaster, we're running 4 buff burst. Can't say enough good things about this card in Sanji. It's literally too good not to run in Sanji, in my personal opinion. Still running 2 Grab Blade Raging Tigers, because this card is actually very good against Zoro at cleaning up their little 5-cost cards. And remember one thing, guys. Remember a few things. Hang on, we have to talk about this real quick. We have to bring up Green Zoro. This card is really good, right? And Gravity Blade Raging Tiger can always hit it in this deck, even if they're running Tashigi. Why? When one of your green characters other than Tashigi would be removed from play due to your opponent's effects, you may instead rest this character. So in other words, if they have a Tashigi on the board and this Tashigi, I can red rock both of these Tashigis off the board and they can't do anything about it, okay? If they have double Tashigi on the board and they have this 3-cost Tashigi, they cannot protect it because they're both named Tashigi. Okay, so Gravity Blade Raging Tiger is actually excellent in this deck. And the same idea here, like with Kashiro, this can only prevent KO effects, right? If one of your cost 5 or lower / attribute characters other than this character would be KO'd by an opponent's effect, you may rest this character instead, and it has blocker. Okay, well that doesn't save them from Grab Blade, right? So again, this version we're looking at here that I made, it was specifically, like this version I made specifically to beat Zoro. And to put things in context, you guys don't get to see all the games I play, right? When I was playing against Zoro, it was not going well. When I swapped over to this deck, I think I was able to get, to get the game for today's video after 2 games. So, I mean, it was one of those situations where it's like, man, this is not working out. The reason it's not working out, by the way, let me go back real quick. Sorry, guys, I know we're doing a lot of jumping around. Here's why this version hasn't been doing very well, at least in my experience against Zoro. is they just tap down Sanji and they tap down Reiju. Because remember, the effects that Zoro is using on Kuina and on Tashigi, they rest based off of the base cost of the character, the original cost of the character. So in other words, even though this might be a 9-cost card on the board, its original cost is 4. And Sanji, of course, is just, he's a 3. So it's like, when you play out Sanji, or you play out Reiju, which really are your win conditions in Blurple Sanji. When you play these out against Zoro, they go, okay, shoulder shrug, who cares? Rest it down, smash in for 9 every single turn. You're never going to get to keep it on the board, and you cannot save this card from the you cannot use this effect to save it from KO in battle. Only from other effects. You can only protect this card with its effect from other effects, not from battle. Okay, so that's why I ended up coming out with a new version here, coming out with this new version after, beating my head against the wall. I couldn't get through against Zoro, so it's like, okay, well, let's try this then. Let's try this, and man, like I said, after 2 tries, we got there. And I think even the first try I could have got there, but I made a huge blunder. And I'll put that on me. But this version of the deck, I think, has a much better chance into Green Zoro. Let's walk through it real quick. We're running 2 Pudding, just a good card. Running 4 Usohachi, 4 Vinsmoke Reiju. This card's still just incredible. I don't know how else to say it, guys. It's just that good, right? Then we're running 4 Sangoro. This card is very unfortunately named. I wish... let me say this, actually. When it comes to the new Searcher we got, the new Pudding here, I wish it had one other thing. I wish it said, look at the 4 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 card named Sanji or Sangoro, or an event card, and then add it to your hand. I wish they had added Sanji or Sangoro, right? That would have made it a little bit better for me, but either way. This Reiju, absolutely incredible. Then we're running 4 Sangoro. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. So we're running 4 Sangoro. Unfortunately, we couldn't search this up with something like, because I think I would still run Pudding, guys, because look at all the Sanjis we're still running. We're still running this Sanji 2K counter. Well, I guess... maybe not then. Maybe it wouldn't be as good, but we'd be able to search up all of our events still. Either way, so we have this Sangoro to draw cards. We have this 6-cost Secret Luffy. Card's incredible. For the 2K counter blocker Sanji. 2 Luffy Taro. Notice the small picture's name is Monkey D. Luffy, but the big picture on the left's name is Luffy Taro. And then we have 2 of the 9-cost Secret Luffy. This card's nice because it's very hard for them to deal with this, even though they can't attack into it twice. Because are they really going... I mean, think about it. They have to give 5 Dawn. They have to invest 5 Dawn to their leader's attack just to attack into this 2 times. Do they want to dedicate their entire board to try to get this card off the board? Okay, be my guest. If you want to try it, go ahead, right? We're running 4 of the event, the blue event Searcher, 4 Concaster, 4 Buff Burst. We're running 2 Grab Blades, 4 Gum Gum Giant, 4 Gear 2. Okay, so we have we have a little bit of ramp in here, and that's actually kind of important because one thing I noticed was this. If we're going first, so, 1 Dawn, 3 Dawn, and then we can ramp to 4 to get to 6 and then 8, like that was okay. In that case, we actually would want to go Dawn -1, use our leader effect as much as possible, and probably fall back down to an odd curve. But when we're going second, that's where things get really crazy, right? That's where things get really crazy. Going second, we can start off with one of these turn 1 Searchers and all that good stuff. And then we could still even use Dawn -1 early on to go down to an odd curve. Because once we get to our second turn, where we would be on 4 Dawn, we just attack in with our leader to go back to 4 Dawn. And then don't use another Dawn -1. And then with our remaining 3 Dawn, Gear 5. And now we're on 5, which gets us straight into 7 on our next turn. And then straight into 9 on the turn after that. Because remember, on our next turn, when we untap and have 7 Dawn, we go Monkey D. Luffy, Dawn -1 down to 6, cheating out a 5 cost, and then if our opponent's at 6, well, hang on, will our opponent be on 6? I think they will if I did that right. Maybe I was a little bit off on that, but either way, just being able to play out the Luffy Taro on curve straight into the Sangoro, that is very, very hard for your opponent to keep up with. So I think it's still worth using no matter what, and even if you have to go straight to 9 on the next turn, you could just not use your leader's effect to go back down and Dawn. You guys get the idea. Really good stuff there. And that's about it, guys. That's all I got for y'all today. I don't know how good this version is into the other decks. I did make this literally just to combat Green Zoro, but I think there could be something here because maybe we start introducing the 7-cost Sanji into this list as well. There might be some idea to put the 7-cost Sanji into here, and who knows, maybe even the 9-cost blue Sanji. You guys know which one I'm talking about? This one. Maybe in the future we can mess around with something like this, cheating out the 9-cost Luffy, and going from there. There could be something there. We'll have to mess around with it. All right, tell me what y'all think in the comments section below. That's about it. Let me get the outro page on here. Man, okay, Blue Purple Sanji. We're working our way through it, guys. We've gone through Rayleigh now. We've gone through Zoro. We've gone through Blue Purple Sanji, Black Yellow Koala. We still got Purple Yellow Rosinante to cover. And then, what's the last one, guys? What's the last one? And which one am I missing? Let me bring up leaders. Y'all can't see this in the background. Let me type in OP12 and go through the leaders real quick. So, like I said, we went through Rayleigh, Zoro. Oh, Kuzan. That was the other one. Kuzan was one I forgot. We still have to go over Kuzan and Purple Yellow Rosinante. We've gone over all the other ones. We're almost there, guys. We're getting there. Be patient with me. It's always just a matter of time because I always like going over the new leaders, the new cards, the new decks. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And guys, if you are liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, whatever you're doing to help me out, guys, using my TCG Player affiliate link, if you're donating through Patreon or PayPal, if you're a Playmat supporter, a YouTube member, part of the Discord community, whatever you're doing to help me out or to help out the One Piece community, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. This community is becoming just incredible. Really, really good stuff. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please tell me what y'all think in the comment section below, especially about that second version of Blue Purple Sanji. Curious to see what people think about it. All right, I'm done. Until next time, guys. Peace.